and the American 8th Air Force strike at tactical objectives beyond the Rhine. For a week preceding the Allied cross-Rhine drive, air power pulverizes Wesel and other strong points. The rocket-firing Typhoons cut down installations of the Nazi defense network. Bombers over Wesel. Between 22nd and 24th March, the RAF dropped 1,700 tons on troops and positions at Wesel, 1,975 tons on Nazi concentrations along the northern edge of the Ruhr and at Bocholt, above Wesel. Friday night, 23rd March, just before the Allied armies begin streaming across the Rhine, the RAF Bomber Command blazes the way for the ground troops. The brilliantly clear weather holds all through the evening. Incendiaries burn out Nazi installations which might disrupt our bridgehead operations. Dawn, 24th March, south of Paris. Paratroopers begin to assemble for the greatest single airborne operation in all history. Officers and men of the U.S. 17th Airborne Division don their gear before entering the troop carriers. The aircraft are C-47s loading 18 men, and for the first time, Curtiss Commando transports, which carry 36 paratroopers. The C-46 Commando is fitted with 2 doors and drops its shooters from both sides simultaneously. Meanwhile, at Allied bases in England, the British 6th Airborne Division begins another phase of the operations. Activities are in exact synchronization with the takeoffs of the U.S. 17th Airborne from France. Gliders jammed with equipment are ready to be hooked up to British Sterling bombers. Glider-borne Tommies get aboard for the trip to the bridgehead sector, where British commandos already have launched Marshal Montgomery's thrust across the lower Rhine. At the same time, the American glider-borne infantry is moving out of airfields in France. These units climb into the Waco or CG-4A glider. It normally carries 12 fully equipped soldiers or a combination of soldiers and equipment up to 4,000 pounds. The nylon rope is prepared for hooking the glider behind the tow ship. Ready for the takeoff. CG-4A glider can be hauled as fast as 150 miles per hour with its full load, although normal cruising speed behind a C-47 is 120 miles per hour. All American gliders in this operation are towed in pairs. The troops taken aloft constitute the 194th Glider Infantry Regiment. By French airfields, the paratroopers take off. initial elements of Lieutenant General Lewis H. Brereton's 1st Allied Airborne Army on their way toward the Rhine. In the same early dawn across the Channel in England, a Sterling leaves the airfield with the first British glider to go aloft in the 24th March operations. Two types of gliders carry the British troops' weapons and supplies. The Hamel car, which can transport a light tank of approximately 8 tons or any other equivalent load. The Horsa, which is the British standard glider and carries a load of 3 tons. Both are towed singly. Inside one of the gliders. Aboard a Sterling bomber as the glider train wings its way over the British countryside. Crossing the English Channel. The rendezvous point for the British and American aircraft is near Brussels. Streaming eastward across Belgium, the two great aerial task forces total 1,600 planes, 1,400 gliders, and 40,000 troops. Of Belgian towns. General Brereton and British officers watch the air armada wing its way toward the objective. Approaching the Rhine River, one of our aircraft lies in flames near the river's bank. Paratroopers and parapacked supplies spill out over the drop zone in the Race-Basel area. In this leapfrog of enemy positions east of the Rhine, the objective of the airborne divisions is first to contain the German rear and then make a quick junction with the ground troops. C-46, caught by flak, dives toward the ground. The gliders are ready to be cut loose. At the signal, glider from tow ship, the nylon tow rope is unhitched. First glider landings without mishap. Fighters and bombers have been maintaining a protective cover over the area, which is infested with concealed flak positions. One of the crack-ups. This operation is a reversal of the Allied airborne tactics in Normandy and Holland. Here, the glider and parachute forces come in after the ground troops begin their cross-Rhine assault. moving out against targets as mapped during the briefing sessions. Assembling squads and forming into fighting units, they spread out behind the Nazi lines. On the first day, the airborne troops capture 6 bridges across the Isel River intact. They seize 4,000 German troops behind their own front lines.